Over the last few years, the Aperol Spritz has probably become the go-to kind of long summer serve. Yeah, I know the gin and tonic exploded kind of around the mid sort of 2010s and went on, but there's just something about this kind of fizzy, bright orange, bitter, yet fruity concoction. I've also noticed that the Spritz has moved on in the last couple of years as well. So by the end of this video, I'm going to have you fully equipped to kind of riff and come up with your own Spritz variations to put on your party menus, or whether you're in a pub and bar and you want to put more cash in your tills. Cocktail fans, welcome back to the Drinkstuff YouTube channel. I am just Steve the barman, and I'm just purely here to help you on your cocktail journey with some fun, inspiration, and helping you think outside the box when it comes to cocktails. Now, the Aperol Spritz is a doddle to make. You do not need any kind of specific instructions for this. The back of the bottle actually tells you how to make it for a start. But I just wanted to, I'm going to show you how to make it very quickly, but I just want to tip and nod as well to the serving, the way you serve, kind of talk, the way you kind of serve it up. So I'm going to purely for today, I'm going to make this in a gin balloon. I've got another riff coming at the end that I'm going to make in another gin balloon. But actually what I prefer is kind of like the wine glass serve as well. I'm not going to use these because I've just raided Tony's showroom at the other end of the office there. So these have just come off the shelves, but there's some cracking glassware at Drinkstuff, let alone anywhere else. You know, this is all Luigi Bormioli range. Don't ask me the actual physical ranges. One's a Hobstar, I think, somewhere, but that's as far as I go. But they, for me, would be a better kind of more elegant serve than a kind of gin balloon. Gin balloons for me are too big and cumbersome, but that's just me. However, I'm going to be very hypocritical because I do actually kind of like that as well. It's kind of a very different sort of gin balloon. But, you know, there's no right or wrong. You could even go in a tall glass, a highball glass if you wanted to. So just to briefly show you how to make it, you know how to make it, of course you do. Gin balloon, bit of ice. Basically, Aperol recommends you do equal amounts of Aperol to Prosecco, so we're going to do that. This has been open a couple of weeks now. It might not be as it's at its fizziest. Oh, I don't know. Oh, we've got a bit of fizz. And this is frizzante anyway, because screw tops. We like a bit of screw top action. So equal amounts of, there's a bit of fizz in there. That, now, let's be honest, you're going to make slightly more than 60 ml at home, aren't you? 60 and 60, of course you are. You're probably going to go about 100 ml and 100 ml, but for the purposes of measuring, for the purposes of video, we're just going to do that. A bit more ice, and then we essentially just top up with soda, a little bit of soda water. Not too much. You don't drown it out. You probably do more Aperol, more Prosecco than you would soda water. It's just kind of connecting it out. Now, the whole reason why I've made it is because I want to tip and nod to this product as well. Drinkstuff, we sell the bigger ones. Now, these are kind of different to them. And this is where the Fruits for Drinks range, for me personally, comes into its own. The difference between dehydrated and freeze-dried, for me, the best way I can describe it, these brands might tell you differently, but the best way I would describe it, the dehydrated stuff makes your drinks look pretty. They go on top, they garnish. Whereas the Fruits for Drinks, which are freeze-dried, they suck all the moisture out, for me, go in drinks, like gin and tonics especially, but also work, if I can open it, work very, very well in your Aperol Spritzes. So bearing in mind you get bigger bags from Drinkstuff, but as soon as they go in there, they kind of rehydrate, and that's long life, shelf stable, no chopping up of oranges, no sort of oranges going off. That is what the Fruits for Drinks for me are designed for. Perfect for gin and tonics, perfect for Aperol Spritzes. And if you were being completely proper and had your admin, whereas I failed, I would garnish that with a bit of nice mint tree as well, because the green and orange kind of works quite well. But that is essentially the Aperol Spritz. But the cool thing with the Aperol Spritz, because the Aperol is kind of a bitter ingredient, it means you don't kind of have to play around with citrus or anything if you want to kind of flavour them up and make them a tiny little bit sweeter. Now, I mentioned any spritzes or spritzes moving on at the start, and I just want to kind of showcase what I mean by that, because yes, I've got gins in front of me here, but actually it's not just about gin as well. Gins are part of a big movement in the spritz world. They're obviously not called Aperol Spritzes, they're just called spritzes. But think anything bitter. These technically come from the Amaro family. So like Campari is a version of Amaro, if you like. Jägermeister is a version of Amaro. So basically Amaro's loosely referred to a herbalized kind of liqueur spirit in a sense like that. But there are some great other brands, and I've just annoyingly taken it home because I needed it at the weekend for my own. But Sue's is a kind of white or clear, or yellow, I should say, kind of gentian root liqueur, and gives off a very different thing. Bitter still, you've got to think they are kind of that bitter vibe going on, but a very different flavours. So you've got all those kind of Amaros, Sues and products like that, flavours like that you can use, or you can kind of go flavoured gins like this, or any gins. I've got Gordon's Mediterranean orange here. Gordon's are really fighting back with flavours now. The citrus, the orange, the elderflower, there's the raspberry that they've got, and they've just released a passion fruit one at the time of shooting. Whitney Neal stolen the march on flavours essentially. But all of these work, and all you need to do is the gin, the Prosecco, and the soda water, end of story. But I'm going to show you how to flavour these up even more. And before I even get onto the syrups and the purees, which are coming in a second, let's talk about the soda water, because in the UK especially, we have got a ton of soda waters, or tonic waters, which are, or soda waters I should say, loosely masquerading as tonic waters. The quinine levels in most tonic waters these days are minuscule. They are effectively a soda water. Please do not think they are a separate category. Yes, tonic brands would like to call them a separate category, but in actual fact, they are just flavoured sodas in that respect. And one of my I absolutely love it, and this has probably been the biggest serve for me. It's a simple swap of Fever Tree, or even Aldi's own Mediterranean tonic for plain tonic water. That gives a lovely kind of citrus, herbal-esque, herby-esque kind of vibe to your Aperol Spritz. That is a big shout. I absolutely recommend that. But yes, we could go down the other Fever Tree route, the elderflower, the aromatic, all those kind of things. They don't need too much more love, but I just want to kind of show you a couple of different things as well. Because if you really want to go fun and fruity, Britvic range, London Essence, Britvic and London Essence, same people essentially. This is brand new. They've got so many different flavours now that you can find in your supermarkets, but this is kind of like the brand newish one, which I absolutely adore. Pineapple soda. So think of flavoured gin, pineapple soda, Prosecco, simple as you like. But there's another brand, and these are good friends of mine. I've been following them ever since they started up. They're still quite small in the grand scheme of things. And believe me, I could talk all day about flavoured tonic waters, flavoured soda waters, because there are so many brands. If you watch the NRB blog, or vlog, I should say, a couple of weeks ago, you'll have seen a Yorkshire brand that I'd never met before with a strawberry kind of tonic water, and that was amazing. I really want to get a hold of some of that. But this is a brand that I know and love, and really do love. Full disclosure, that is kind of the new branding. That is an old bottle. I've run out of the rhubarb because I love it. It's my favourite flavour. So I've got a couple of older bottles there, but they look like that. Elixir, elderflower and lemon tonic water, blood orange and cinnamon tonic water, and my favourite, rhubarb and ginger. Works, you know, sidetracking, works as a mixer with rum, works as a mixer with gin. It is just absolutely phenomenal. So all of these, just swapping out instead of your plain soda water, even with Aperol or gin, just give you a completely new dimension to your spritz. Before I go any further, before I get into the fun stuff and show you what you can really do with what Drinkstuff sell, all the purees and the syrups and all that kind of stuff, the fun, real fun stuff. I've given you so many different recipes, variations already. Out of what I've shown you, dive into the comments below. What are you most excited to try next? What's just blown your mind? For a lot of people, me even telling them, and I've seen this at face to face so many times, for a lot of people, they're just blown away that you could actually just swap your Mediterranean tonic water for your soda water. It just doesn't come into people's heads. So what first kind of variation, riff, flip are you going to try? That's before we even get into the syrups. So without further ado, let's talk about them. Let's do what we do best. Look, William Fox, there's no right or wrong here with brands. William Fox, we sell 65 plus of them. Monin, we sell well over, what have I got? I keep saying 100, I'm sure it's well over this, but 150 plus products. And ODK, over 55. Lots of that. That's without even going down the funkin route, which, you know, there must be at least sort of 40 or 50 of those funkins. There are so many ideas that you can have here. So to start off with, let me just focus on my Aperol Spritz riffs. And this is tried and tested by me over the last 5-6 years at least, for hen party reception drinks on weddings, but longer ago than that, because I stopped doing weddings in 2015 essentially. So we're going back a long time. Now, simple 15 mil of these I'd add into my Aperol Spritz. That simple. So same thing, 15 ml. And if you want, if it's too sweet, you can bitter it up with more kind of Aperol. That's absolutely no problem. Now, full disclosure, I used to be a complete sweep for me for the for the ODK purees, the fruity mixes, because I used to have the blood orange one, but for some unknown reason that's gone off grid and I don't know why. This is a cracking alternative though. Monin's blood orange syrup, blood orange Aperol Spritz, delightful, amazing. A cherry blood orange a cherry Aperol Spritz, amazing. Watermelon, I actually think those two were probably the most popular out of all of the ones that I did. They're just delicious. The bitter is the bitter sweet thing that just really works in these spritzes. And then we've got the, as I've already mentioned, the cherry, but strawberry. You could kind of go yuzu, ODK do a yuzu one as well, but we've got the Monin one up there. There is no right or wrong. And the best thing about all of these, they are long life and shelf stable once opened. Yes, brands will kind of tell you, use within 3 months, they will keep them cool, not at fridge, but keep them cool and they will last months and months and months. Perfect for low volume kind of pubs and bars. Perfect for you guys at home throwing parties, you know, because you don't have to use them all in one weekend. Now just completely swapping over to the Monin purees, the Monin kind of Le Fruit, I think they call them fruity mixes. These three are brilliant. We've got, forget which order it is now, but tangerine, yuzu, and the rhubarb. And all you literally need to do, I might do this off on the cuff. I'm going to use the rhubarb one. Just, I'm not going to bother, but about 15 ml. There we go. Just kind of pour that in. Take a bar spoon, give it a good kind of stir, and you've instantly got a rhubarb Aperol Spritz there. And don't forget, like Aperol's got like a vibe of rhubarb going on anyway. And that is just. Let's have a little sample of that. The bitter and the that's just amazing. Really good. So all of those three will work. And then showcasing William Fox, a combination apple and rose together. That's going to be amazing in an Aperol Spritz. Cherry blossom, I was going to show you, should be sitting right here, is hibiscus. I can't find it for love nor money. I know I've got the Monin hibiscus at home. I don't know where the William Fox one is. It should be here somewhere. I can't find it. But hibiscus in that, delicious. So just before I let you go, I'm going to make one final riff to show a combo of flavours. I am going to use Aperol, but I think you can use gin as well in this. I've said it time and time again, let your imaginations run wild. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the 60 ml, the double bubble of the Aperol in there. I'm going to do a combination of raspberry. So I've got raspberry ODK, and I'm going to do elderflower. So basically we're going to make it up to probably about 20 ml, but 10 ml of each. So a little squirt of raspberry, nice kind of fruity mix. So it's about 10 ml there and about 10 ml of elderflower. And this really punches through the elderflower in here. This would be a perfect one for gin as well, but about 10 ml, there we go, of that. So we've got that. Let's just do equal measures of the old Prosecco, so 60 ml of Prosecco, there you go, is really losing its fizz. And then to finish off, it's the Mediterranean tonic water. And this is just going to be mind blowing. I'm going to send this around the office. I know full well that this is going to be the leader of the pack. It's just delicious. Give that a good old stir, combine the sort of raspberry. That'll be at the bottom in there, the elderflower come through, garnish up with more ice, orange, sprig of mint, and there you've kind of got a raspberry and elderflower Aperol Spritz. And that is flipping phenomenal. That's my favourite one. That's delicious, raspberry and elderflower. So what I want you to do now, when you've made your spritzes this weekend, next weekend, the summer, the bank holiday, whatever you're doing, whenever you watch this video, take a photo of it, come into our Discord community, link below, link in the comments as well. Come in there, upload it to the your cocktail feed on there. Or if you're old school, upload it to Instagram and then tag us in the actual photo as well, because I want to see what Aperol Spritzes you come up with. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want even more cocktails that you can riff up, then dive into that video right there, because I reckon that one is going to help you just as much.